Hey, welcome to another episode of the Not Scrum Done podcast. I'm your co-host, Andreanna Marshall, and that's my amazing co-host.
Grand Scrum Master Scott, greetings everybody.
Today, we're going to be going over one of our subscriber questions. If you have a question, you can leave it in the comments. You can email us. Our LinkedIn's below as well. And the question goes, as a Scrum Master, how do you handle situations where the team members are resistant to change? Scott, you want to kick us off on this one?
Oh, absolutely. This is a common occurrence I see in most new teams or new companies I start with. And first thing I'm going to do is take a step back and ask the question. Very simple, of course. What don't you like about Scrum or Agile? I'm assuming we're in a Scrum and Agile environment with this particular question. So that's the context I'm going to take. So I'm like, why don't you like Scrum? Why don't you like Agile? And really just see what that person says. And typically what I find is when they get to the end of their story, it really has something to do with what they've seen. Some other scrum master didn't do this, or the organization didn't support them in doing that, or they working late, they working crazy hours. It can be a number of things, but typically at the end of the day, it has absolutely nothing to do with Scrum. I asked this person, hey, look, this is my first day on the job. I'm actually going through that right now with that particular question. I'm observing the team right now. I'm writing all the anti-patterns, which means things done for good intention, but they have a bad outcome. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at different things. And even when I talked to that person the other day, I was like, hey, these are some things I'm saying. I'm gonna see about changing it. Can you help me understand the landscape of the new environment that I'm in? And I asked that person, can you give me 30 days? We are on 2 week sprints. That'll give me enough time to see two sprint cadence. In the first sprint, I'm pretty much just going to be observing in this particular case. So the second sprint, I will be actually on the team running things. And then ask the person, hey, can you give me 30 days from this conversation? And we'll come back, meet one on one. We'll go through some things that you highlight that I've highlighted, some things I'm trying to implement. And if you don't like in this environment, I will help you get on the team that you want to get on. But before you do that, I would like for you to give me some feedback in terms of the implementation that I have done up until the next time we meet. And the person typically says, okay, so what am I doing? I'm including that person in the process. And sometimes that could be it. Oftentimes you've been in an environment, I'm sure, that change has been made. You didn't have anything to do with that change. How did that make you feel? None of us like change, but we know we live in an ever changing world. If you're going to use that approach, I'll recommend highly that you be very, very confident in your skill set, your mindset, and your tool set, because I'm basically making you a promise that at the end of that time box, you expecting me to deliver on that promise. And if you think you can't deliver on that promise, don't make that deal. But I'm just telling you what I would do in that situation. The point is, you just need to identify what is going on. Why is the person resistant to change, and figure out a way that you can do in your scope of work, something that you can control, something that you can control at the team level. Take that and start there and use empiricism. Andreanna.
I really like that 30-day trial. One of the things that we do at my company a lot is write documents. So when we want to change or we have an escalation or some issue that we need assistance on, we write down the problem statement. So when someone's resistant to change, I find it a lot easier to include them in the process and they're more willing to be a part of a change that they've created. What's your problem statement? Be very clear on that. Some people don't want to change things just for the sake of changing things. Be very clear on what's the problem and then collaborate with those people that are resistant to change. Do we all agree that this is an issue? What are some ideas to solve it and allow people to collaborate on that? And I think you'll get a better response because a lot of times we're being force fed change. A lot of people are going through organizational changes right now with budgets. Some people are getting let go. A lot of reorgs are happening. They're not able to get the people on their team. Allow them to control something. That's going to be helpful to getting them on board to make changes because they've been a part of it. The way we want to see change happen is bottom up, not top down. Thanks for watching. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can also join one of our classes. We have official scrum.org classes and some other content that you can consume on this channel. So if you like the video, well, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. We have a newsletter that you can join as well. If you made it to the end of this video, that means you have an attention span greater than a goldfish.
Be legendary, everyone, but certainly not Scrum Down. See you in the next episode.